Hello, fellow teachers. Teacher Lene here. I just thought I'd pop on to give you my best advice for getting repeat bookings and for getting new students. One of the questions I most often see on the Hutong is, how do I get more bookings? I'm not going to tell you how to get your first booking because that's really up to VIPKID. You can fix your profile, do all the things that they tell you to do. Fix your profile photo, make sure you write a good biography, list all your experience. Getting that first booking can take a long time and it's pretty tricky. And as far as I know, there's really no way around that. But once you have those first 2 or 3 bookings, how do you get them to come back? And how do you get more students from those first few? There are some tricks. First of all, you want to know who you're impressing. One of the biggest mistakes I see from teachers is they go in trying to impress the kid. And that's part of it. You do need to form a connection with the kid. But the people that you most need to impress are the parents. They are the ones who are paying for the classes. And they are the ones who decide whether you are doing a good enough job to teach their kid. But the other thing that a lot of people don't think about is parents have friends. Parents have friends with children. And parents receive incentives for getting their friends to sign up with VIPKID. Do you see where I'm going here? Yeah! If you can get a parent to tell their friends about you, you don't know how many new students. There are groups on WeChat where parents discuss VIPKID and they discuss the teachers. You want to make sure that you are discussed in those groups and in a good way. If you are, you're golden. You're going to have a constant influx of new students coming your way. And if you impress the parents of these new students, you expand your client base. See where I'm going here? It's a great way to get new clients. Sure, you can depend on the VIPKID platform, but that's not really reliable. Algorithms change, things change, and what works for you getting students from the VIPKID platform today might not work tomorrow. But if you're impressing parents and you have parents telling their friends about you, that's kind of a no-fail way of doing things. So, how do you impress parents? Number 1, you teach. Your teaching has got to be the focus of your class. Correct pronunciation mistakes. Make sure that their kid is using correct grammar. Teach to the best of your ability. Don't let little mistakes slide. You can correct and correct gently. If a kid says to me, I go to school today, I don't always make them repeat it back to me grammatically correctly, but I do repeat it back in a grammatically correct way. I say, oh, you went to school today. Great. Did you have a good day? That way the parent knows that I know their kid made a mistake and I'm correcting it, but I'm doing it in a way that doesn't intimidate the kid. Number 2, you want to love the kid. You know, I have a kid who takes lingo bus lessons, and I think about this as a parent. Now, my 8-year-old can be something of a wild child. I can show you a picture of her in lingo bus where she's got her arm out of her shirt, and she's one of those kids that sometimes, as a teacher, you think, wow, that lesson exhausted me. But as a mom, the teachers that I choose for her are the ones who embrace her wildness and go with it, not the ones that seem overwhelmed by her very colorful personality. And so you want to be a teacher that can handle anything, all right? If a kid throws something at you, just keep a calm face, keep a smile, and keep on going. These parents are the ones who have the hardest time finding teachers for their kids. So if you can be that teacher that consistently shows up with a great attitude about their child, they're going to keep booking you. And they know their children. They're going to recommend you because they know they have difficult children. And they're going to be impressed with a teacher who can handle those difficult children. Okay, number 3, let's talk about rewards. Rewards. I'm going to be a little bit controversial here. There are some popular rewards that I don't like. I don't like Find a Star. You know why? It takes a lot of time. The kid, you say, okay, what number do you want? And the kid's like, No, I don't know. It's a great way for a kid to get out of class if they don't want to be doing the lesson because they can just think forever. I don't like it. I prefer a reward that's quick and easy. We have fun with it, but it's quick and easy. You get some ice cream! Yay! All right, high five! On to the next point, and we have fun with it. Sometimes I build the ice cream up. This is one of the most popular things that I do. And the ice cream starts to tip over because I run out of room. The kids love that. And it doesn't take any time, and we maximize the time of our lesson. The same thing goes with props. Props are good. Props can be used very effectively to help you make a point. I use my puppets all the time. He, she, they. That's effective. But when you are pulling out a prop for every sentence, that takes away from the lesson and it takes away from the learning, and your props become the focus of the lesson. Don't do that. You need to have teaching be the focus of the lesson. Okay, the last point is expand. Expand, expand, expand. Parents are paying a lot for these classes and they want to get the most value that they can. So if you take the lesson beyond what is written and you tell the parents what you did, they're going to see a lot of value in that. One of the comments that I got most recently in feedback was Teacher Lene combines the lesson and life organically. And I really tried to do that. If we are talking about technology, this was the lesson it was technology. I pulled out a picture of one of those really old first Apple computers. That's what I did when I went to school, and I was telling my student, this is what I worked on. How is your computer better? And she told me, if I'm in a level 2 class, we're talking about the weather. What is the weather like in Hubei today? What was it like yesterday? What weather do you like? And move on from there. I had a kid in level 2 tell me about a flood. It wasn't this most recent typhoon, but he was telling me, he's like, it was like balls of, and I'm like, hail. So I taught him the word for hail, and there were boats going down the street, and we had a great conversation on that, and it was involved in his life, so he was excited about learning, and the parent was excited because I taught him what was beyond the lesson. So that's always a good way to impress the parents too. And then in feedback I write, we expanded the lesson by talking about how this student saw boats rowing down the street because the streets were flooded. And the parent left feedback on that. She was super impressed. She's like, wow, that was awesome. Paul, my son was really excited about telling you that. And it's awesome that you talked with him about that. So that's another way to impress parents. There are, I'm sure, countless other ways, but those are my big ways to impress parents. And make sure you write things in feedback. Show concern for the kids' learning. If the parent says something to you in feedback like, my student's pronunciation is not standard and I'm concerned about that, say, I'm working with your student on pronunciation in class. This is what we're doing. Show them that you care about their learning. If you notice something that the student's doing in class, you can say, I noticed this, and this is what I'm doing to work with your student on this. I have a lot of students, and I'm sure you do too, who have conversational skills that aren't quite grammatically correct. So I'm like, this week what I'm really working on is correcting the student's grammar while they're speaking. We're working on verb tenses, and write that in feedback. Write how you expanded the lesson. Write how you are helping their child learn. And if they see value, if the parents see value in what you are bringing to class, they're going to book you again. And they're not only going to book you again, but they're going to tell their friends about you. I received this message tonight from a parent. How can I not attend your class recently? The child is anxious. My friend's kid signed up too. I recommended you. And that's not the first time that I've received that message. It happens semi-frequently, and I think it happens more often than I'm aware of. So if you want bookings, impress those parents. Impress, impress, impress. Bring your A game to class every time. Teach those children that maybe you have a hard time with, and find a way to be happy about it. Find a way to be energetic about it, because the flip side of impressing the parents is if you make a parent angry, those parents are in those WeChat groups too, and you don't want to be the subject of a bad conversation about a teacher, because if they say bad things about you, that could tank your bookings. So parents can either help you a lot or hurt you a lot. Make sure that you are treating every student with enthusiasm, with joy, be happy to see them, and teach, teach, teach. If you impress the parents, eventually your student base will grow. All right, I hope that helped you. I hope that gave you some stuff to think about, and I will be back next time with another video.